Hey, what's up everybody? It's me, Blake316 here with a new video for you guys. And on March 24, 2005, Sony released their first ever portable handheld console. In 2021, we're gonna play it and see how it holds up. Now, I have the PSP in my hand. Like I said, this was the first ever Sony handheld. They eventually released a quote-unquote sequel to it, which was the PlayStation Vita, but this was their first handheld. This particular console competed against the Nintendo DS. Now, believe it or not, this console did have some success. A lot of people think it didn't because at the time the Nintendo DS was so huge that it was killing everything. The PlayStation Portable, consoles, the Nintendo DS was huge, right? But at the same time, the PlayStation Portable did have a pretty good market. Now, before we get into the games and the UI of this thing, let's just look at the console. It has a little D-pad. It has a little nub analog stick. It has the typical Sony buttons. It's cross, not X, square, triangle, circle, volumes, got trigger buttons, not the best trigger buttons. Then in the back, it also had UMDs. We'll get into that also, where Sony tried to make their own little format. It wasn't that successful, honestly. And then if you take off the battery, there was a slot for a memory card. Yes, Sony tried to do a memory card. Well, they had to do a memory card because when I showed the UMDs, there was a reason. This is one of the things that the DS did not have to do. There was no memory cards. But anyway, let's look at the UI. On your PlayStation Portable, this is the first ever model. This is actually kind of a sought after model. Reason being, this model can be modded. People would mod their PlayStation Portables, not only playing PSP games, but they would put tons of movies on it, emulators. It was pretty cool if you ever got your hands on a modded PSP. This one is not modded, but it can be modded. But to look at it, as you see, you can play games. On the PSP, not only to play games, but you can watch videos. You can put videos on it. You can put music on it. You can put all your photos on it. Let me tell you something. With the videos, let me tell you something. A lot of people used to put porn on the PSP. Not people want to really watch it. They would more or less just kind of just be like, oh yeah, I have porn on my PSP. Just to brag about it, right? Because you could do it. But it then has some USB connection where you can hook it up once again to mod it. So a few other things. Themes, you can change the themes. A lot of cool stuff. But anyway, we show the UI. Let's show off the games real quick. Now, one particular game that was really huge back then, which is a big franchise now, obviously, was Grand Theft Auto Liberty Cities. This game on the go was a huge deal because everyone at the time was playing, Grand Theft Auto 3, Grand Theft Auto Vice City. To have a Grand Theft Auto game on the go was a really big deal. Now let's open it up. And look at all the stuff you get back then. You get instruction manual. It's not even an instruction manual. It's like a table of contents. It's like telling you about the game. There's a map in here. There's more stuff in here. It has back art. Now it's crazy what you used to get in video games. And here it is. The UMD, Universal Media Disc, something that Sony tried to do. Not only did they make video games, but they also tried to make movies. There's actually UMD movie players. It wasn't successful at all. It's one of the reasons why the PSP necessarily didn't blow up. And honestly, to my knowledge, the PSP was the only thing that ever really used UMDs, other than the video players, which I personally have never seen one. I've never seen anyone own one either, or known anyone that owned one. But that is the games. Not only were you able to buy games, but if you look in the background, we got Big Daddy, we got Triple X. You were able to buy movies. So not only could you put movies on there, but you can buy games and you can buy a movie on your PlayStation Portable. This was something that was revolutionary. This was what? This was huge. Now the PlayStation Portable, it had some drawbacks. At the time, people didn't like the PlayStation Portable, mainly because, it was playing too big of a game. At the time, Nintendo DS was playing games that were portable, easy to get into, easy to get out of, At the time, people didn't want these big games like Grand Theft Auto or even with the PlayStation Vita, the Uncharted games. Now, people can say, well, that's not what they want with the Switch. That's true. 15 years later, gamers might have changed. Same time, the Switch you can put on the TV, take it off the TV, That was one of the setbacks with the PlayStation Portable. They didn't necessarily have games that were easy to get into, easy to get out of. But comparing the graphics, I'll show you some. The PlayStation Portable was like 128 bits. It was pretty much PS2 graphics on the go, where the Nintendo DS, I believe, was like 64 bits. But enough talking. Let's actually play it. Now, first game we are going to play some Madden 06. Me personally, I straight up bought this console to play Madden. I was a huge Madden player back in the day, and being able to play Madden on the go, it was so awesome in my opinion. All right, there it is. Madden 06, it's loading. Man, this brings back a lot of memories. When you seen someone with a PlayStation Portable, back in the day, you were like, oh snap, because these things were expensive too. I remember paying like $400 for this device. I may be wrong, but I remember when they first released, they were super hard to get. Stores were definitely like always out of stock. But I remember when I got my hands on one, I was excited. I was like, yeah, I got me a PlayStation Portable. All right, loading out Michael Vick right there. You know what? I think my memory card still remembers that I used to play with Michael Vick, because I think that was the team I used to run with. All right, do a little coin toss. Now, like I said, the graphics were like PS2. And at the time, having something like this portable was like amazing. It was legit amazing. And even playing it now, like, yo, this looks really good. Like, I have no problem playing this on the go. And it legit, like, because it was a Sony thing, it was like a Sony controller. So if you were playing your PS2 and you went to play your PSP, it was extremely an easy transition because the button format was the same, the controls were still the same, the graphics were still the same. And that was one of the really cool things about playing this. Like, look how good this looks right now. I legit have not played this in a while. And I'm just blown away still, 16 years later, of how good this legit looks. And it legit was a version of Madden on the go. And this is probably better than this particular portable version of Madden is probably better than anything on the DS, the 3DS to this day. This is probably the best portable version of Madden you can get. And man, like, I'm kind of in shock right now, like how good it's actually aged. Like, PS3 games haven't even aged this well. Man, this is pretty impressive to this day. A lot of people feel that Sony should possibly make another PlayStation Portable, get back in the market, especially with the huge success with Nintendo Switch. But there's I agree with that they should, but at the same time, would you want to compete with Nintendo's portable console again? Probably not. Would Sony possibly do better? I think so, because I think now with the success of the Nintendo Switch, I think people, would like another option of playing games on the go. But look, man, this is awesome. This is aged so well. I'm just going to do a quick down, and then we're going to take a look at another game after this. Oh, that's a bad pass. Where am I throwing it? It does have slight lag. I wonder if there's if there's an update, or I probably shouldn't even update it, but there is some slight lag with the gameplay. But honestly, this is holding up really well. Oh, Michael Vick. Oh, nice. Worked out. We're going to go for it. Man, this is really good. Oh, it got me. All right, this is Madden 06. This is literally a 16-year-old game on a 16-year-old device, and I'll be honest with you, I'm impressed. And this, I might still play this off of this video. But enough talking about this game. Let's look at another game. Now, the next game we're going to play is some Street Fighter Alpha Max 3 or Street Fighter Alpha 3 Max. Now, I remember playing this game and I remember it looking, once again, really good. I remember it being extremely impressive on the PlayStation Portable. But I remember fighters specifically not being too good on the PlayStation Portable because of this nub. This nub was not the best. Let me tell you something right now. Do you wish to begin? No. Yeah, you can use the D-pad, but once again, the D-pad wasn't good for fighters either. So let's get into it. Capcom. The sound is really good. Screen is really good, even though I think I do have a dead pixel on my screen. But yo, check this out. Having and seeing something like this 16 years ago was pretty impressive. That's pretty dope. Press start. Do you hear the sound on it? Man, this was so much better than Nintendo DS at the time. It's ridiculous. It just couldn't compete though. Like the monster that Nintendo was. It was just like killing everyone. But once again, just look how good it looks. Like this is impressive. All right, let's go.
Hey, come on! Stand up! Face it straight!
And the nub is so bad. Man, look at the vision. Man, I'm going to tell you something how impressive this is. If you know anything about 2D fighters and Capcom fighters in general, if you go back into history, like the original PlayStation couldn't run fighters that well. The Super Nintendo at the time was considered the best 2D fighter console. And then like the Sega Saturn and whatnot. But for the PlayStation Portable to be able to run this game as good as it's running it, like it's really impressive. Oh. Man. If the nub was just a little better, man. Did you see there's no like drops in frame rate? There's no lag. Man. That was awesome. That this is like, to this day, this holds up so well. Like you can't, you'd have to be a hater to say something, right? You'd have to be like a Nintendo DS fanboy to say this is not good. This is legit good. But now I showed you a couple games. Like I said, it shows movies. Let's put a movie on this thing. And now we're gonna put some XXX in here, watch a movie. I remember the only time I ever seen this movie was actually watching it on the PSP. To be honest with you, I don't think I've ever seen this movie on TV. But let's check it out on the PSP. Now check this out. Any day you can play a little bit of video games, and after you were done gaming, if you wanted, you could watch a movie, bro. Straight into it. Like, look how easy and fluid it is. Straight into the movie. Like, with the movies, it was a lot faster than the game. Some games take a little longer to load or whatever. But yo, check it out. You can fast forward. And there you go, you got a movie. So guys, I don't know about you guys, but I'm definitely, oh, whoa, what's going on? I am definitely impressed playing the Sony PSP 16 years later in 2021. Let me know what you think. Would you like for Sony to make a new portable console? Me personally, I necessarily don't desire it, because if they did, I personally wouldn't buy it, because I don't really like portable consoles anymore. I like gaming strictly on the TV. But I know a lot of people are into that type of thing. So let me know what you think. Let me know if you were an owner of a PlayStation Portable or a PlayStation Vita. I know there's tons of games out there. The Vita and the PlayStation Portable combined have these insane libraries. This in front of me is literally every game and movie I ever bought. But anyway, this was fun. I was playing the PlayStation Portable in 2021. Let me know what you guys think. Fun little video. Make sure to subscribe for future videos. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, got Twitch, all that good stuff. Until next time, hopefully you enjoyed the videos playing the PSP in 2021. Peace.